Alright, this video is to describe how to replace the ribbon cable in your SAAB SID display. And so doing it the easiest way, as I'm showing here, is to take that screwdriver, the Torx driver, out of the trunk of your SAAB. A lot of them have them still in the trunks, and use that in a chuck in a cordless drill to get the screws out. It's easier than wrenching them out by hand. So as you can see, it's 4 screws that need to come out, 4 Torx screws in order to take the black housing off. You pry these little tabs, 2 on each side, the top and the bottom, while putting a little force on it to take it apart. Alright, and so once you have it off, there'll be 3 more Torx bits, and I'm taking a look. That's a SID 2. It says a SID 2. It's from a 1999 9.5, and it says SID 2. So take that out. Careful not to lose your buttons. And there are 2 more screws right there and there. So remove those, they're shorter. And then just pry back where the connector is. So I think it's an 8 or 10 pin connector. Pry it back and you'll expose the cable. And so here's where I'm actually comparing it to the one that I received. Now the ribbon cable that is in there is not, according to the pixelfix.net website, it's not a SID 2, it's a SID 1. But yeah, it says SID 2 on the housing of the SID. And so that's one of the weird things. So I'm actually just putting this back together because I had a couple of them, and I'm glad it illustrated that you really have to take it apart first, see which one you have, visualize it, and compare it to the pictures that are on pixelfix.net, and then go ahead and purchase it from that. I think if you have like 2001 or or newer SID, or even maybe a 2000, I think you'd be okay just getting the SID 2 ribbon cable. But that one right there was a SID 1. Now I pulled out a different one. This one is from, I think, a 2001 9.5. And so again, remove the 4 Torx screws, pry off that little cover, pry back the little tabs in order to remove the exterior black plastic. And again, this one says SID 2 as well, so you can't really take its word because you have to check for yourself. So 3 more small screws, take off the face plate, and then pry the 2 pieces apart, the LCD screen from the printed circuit board. Alright, now you can compare them again. I'm going to go ahead and open it out of the package, and we'll be able to compare those little foam strips. Put those aside. Those are used to help the little rubber strips make greater, heavier contact with the contacts. Alright, and so take it out, and so now you can see that those indeed are a direct match, and you can go ahead with the process. So go ahead and just tear it off, and be careful not to damage the LCD screen, but it comes out pretty easily. And go ahead and tear off the old ribbon cable from both the printed circuit board and the LCD screen. And now step 2, so that's just pretty much step 1. It's really kind of simple. Step 2 is just cleaning it, because you want to get all of the old adhesive and anything else that's on there off of there. And you can see basically all I'm using, there are instructions that come with the ribbon cable from pixelfix.net, but I'm just using, they say, I think they used acetone and some cotton swabs. I just used my fingernail, and I used a little bit of Windex, I guess. I mean, that's what I had handy, but it worked fine. And so I used a rag and used my fingernail to scrape off all the old adhesive, and went ahead and used the rag. And the LCD screen itself, that little contact area, was pretty simple. It was pretty easy. The printed circuit board was a little bit more challenging, but overall, not bad at all. So just go ahead and clean it up so there's no more junk left on there, no more adhesive. And I went ahead and cleaned up both sides as well, and then clean up the printed circuit board. So I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to focus the camera on the adhesive and some of the the ribbon cable that was actually left behind, and the ribbon cable is the fault of the bad displays. And so there are a lot of repairs on eBay that will, they'll say, SID repair, but if they're not repairing the ribbon cable and they're not replacing the ribbon cable, you're bound to just get the same problem in however long. Because a lot of the temporary fixes, there's something called the iron fix, which uses a hot iron to try to I guess reactivate that glue to form a better bond, and a lot of other fixes basically just put something in there to provide more pressure on those contact points. And I've used I guess maybe 4 or 5 of these Pixel Fix replacement ribbon cables that I've used, and I've gotten 100% success with every one of them. See, there's a little bit left on there, so I mean, really just trying to clean them up really well. And I just try not to use anything super abrasive. And my fingernail, credit card, these things, they're not going to be able to damage the board, but you can get the job done. And so I was pretty much tearing up that rag while I was doing it too, because I was really rubbing it hard. But it didn't damage anything on the board, and so just trying to clean it up, and it did pretty well. So now that you have the contacts clean, next is to install the ribbon cable. And so what I find is the best way is to get some Scotch tape, just some clear tape, and you're going to have to line up the ribbon cable, the long portion of it, with the LCD screen. And once you get it open, it's hard to show on the video, but once you get it open, you'll be able to see the contacts on the LCD screen if you hold it in the right kind of light. And so what I do is I just take a little bit of tape so that I can make sure that the position doesn't shift after I line it up, and you'll be adhering to the back of the LCD screen. It's going to be the reverse of it, and so a little bit of clear tape does nothing as far as anything that you can see. And so I found it to be a really good, useful thing. If you somehow get it just a little bit off, you can peel it away. So I'd avoid using glue or something like that that would be more permanent. And so as you can see, I'm just trying to get the right lighting in order to line it up. And you'll see there's 2 different sides to the ribbon cable. You can't really mess it up because of the marks on the screen. And so you'll see that I let the tape overlap onto the back of the board. And if you do something like that, you can see, and you can just make sure it's lined up correctly. But the 2 sides of the ribbon cable, one has the black contacts, as you can see. That side goes down against the LCD screen and against the printed circuit board. So again, I'm just using 2 more pieces of tape. I basically just cut them so they're not too long, and just put them on the new Pixel Fix ribbon cable. And of course, much simpler to line up the ribbon cable with the gold contacts on the printed circuit board. And so next is to do that and just try to get full contact. Use every bit of the contacts that you can. Just push it on there, and that's that part. Now is to go ahead and use the little foam pieces. They have an adhesive back, and sometimes you have to be careful when pulling off that back. You can tear the adhesive off, but go ahead and line those up right over the top of the contacts, and that'll just provide enhanced pressure, some more pressure from the rubber band that is around the housing for the LCD screen. And that rubber band, all it was designed to do is give pressure to those contacts. And so they provide you with 2 of these little foam adhesive strips in order to put on the LCD screen and the printed circuit board. And you'll find out when you do this that the foam strips, they can actually, not so much on the printed circuit board, but the one on the LCD screen can actually provide a little bit too much resistance to the fact where you can't really clip it together as it was designed to be, which isn't really a huge deal. It's not going to go anywhere. And you just definitely want to make sure you don't break anything while trying to put it back together. So I went ahead and put it back together, put the pins in, the 10-pin connector, screwed it together, and now I'm trying to just just gently pinch the LCD screen into its housing. It has some tabs that kind of hold it in, and so it was able to go pretty easily. Go ahead and throw the front plate on, and then that is held in with one screw, and so fasten that and just insert it, you know, reassemble it just the way it came apart. That one clips together, 2 screws hold the backing cover on, and then the final plate just is held in with 2 additional screws, and that